back to another great episode of Two Cigars and a Blunt. Of course, you know I am the man on the street.
This is your vintage 1971 Pharaoh King.
The mad professor in the boot.
Yeah,
Back to
and Tim
his
Dog.
old ways.
That's right. And Tim Dog will be joining us shortly if he can, if he ever come out of the darkness. But if this is your first time ever checking us out, this is how we always start our podcast off. We always got to ask the brothers, how was their day? So, Pharaoh, how was your day, my brother?
Today was good, being that it's Friday. It was payday for some people. But I gotta share this little experience today. So around 10:55 this morning, get a phone call from my daughter. Dad, I've been in an accident. I'm like, what? So everything okay? You all right, dude? So everything was fine. Do you know, out of all that, the only thing she was worried about was because her car was hit. Dad, you gotta see my car. This lady was beside me. But other than that, she got sideswiped. Everything's fine. The car's drivable and stuff like that. But I haven't seen her that angry since college. When she was playing the game. But everything's good. I want to welcome all the new people that should be watching us tonight, because the topics that we're going to talk about tonight, I think some people have some input that they want to share. So hopefully we get a little bit more listeners, viewers.
That's what I'm talking about. My main man, Matt Professor, how's your day, my brother?
Well, it was spent at work, hoping that somebody wouldn't try to say anything about what our main and more than likely only topic will be today. Yeah. So, but no, we got it was business as usual.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, still fucking up my money, but it is what it is.
I am happy about that.
Yeah.
Tim Dog, how was your
goddamn haters, man. Professor haters. That's all it is.
Actually, my day was pretty good. Got on up. My mom and I suffering with allergies, so we decided not to go out today, and stayed and chill, watch some movies, and catch up on some things. And gotta forgive me for my tardiness. I went in the kitchen and get me something to drink, and I lost train of thought of what I was doing and forgot to come back in here.
Early on said Alzheimer's, boy.
Nah, I think it was that Snoop Dogg that I smoked.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. That's me, fellas, man. I'm like Pharaoh King today, Friday, man. I'm glad it's Friday, because I'm going to enjoy this weekend. I'm just going to relax. I ain't doing shit this weekend. I looked at my grass. I said I'll catch it next week. I'm not doing nothing this weekend.
Hey, pay people, down. Bro. I'm telling you, it frees up so much time.
I know it does, man, but that's my little exercise I get in.
Oh, but I got a caveat, though. I got a caveat, guys. Hey, listen, panel. This joker comes over to watch the game with me last night. We're watching the game. We're doing what we do. My pops comes downstairs. It's the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. Hey, Mr. King, come sit down with us while we watch the game. He goes, my dad has history from 1940. This dude's asking him questions from 1939. That was a long ass night, dog. That was a long ass night. And then we got to go to work this morning, so we don't go to bed till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Funny thing, man, I came when I told my wife. I said, I told King Dad. I said, we gonna go to Starbucks and pick up some hoes, but we leave your King at home.
hey, my dad's like,
come on, young man, let's do it.
No, my dad's like, see, that's on you.
Yeah. But it was a very entertaining night. I had a good time chilling with King's dad, man. But fellas, man, let's go ahead and get this popping, man. We already know that it happened the other day, and everybody's still talking about it.
Oh my God. Counting or not counting game violence. Oh my God. Go, run. Whoa. Counting or not counting gang violence. What the fuck?
You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe. Hey, be safe. Apparently there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot. We are here live at Utah Valley State University. I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks.
Yeah, it wasn't fireworks.
Not the fireworks. Oh my goodness.
Fireworks. But Mad Professor, man, I want to get your thoughts on Charlie Kirk's shooting and his death.
Okay, let's start it off like this. Should he have been shot and killed? No. Let's get that shit out the way right now. Violence, that kind of violence should not be pressed upon anyone.
Yeah.
Now that I've said that shit, I will say this. I don't care. Because here's a fucking person whose whole career was based on, hey, I'm a Christian, but I'm going to spout some of the most hateful shit you'll ever hear, which don't go together.
Yeah.
So in fact, he's the person who said empathy is what's ruining society.
Yeah.
So why should I have empathy for what happened to him? I don't. I don't feel sorry for his. I'm sorry if you don't like me saying this. I don't feel sorry for his family. Not at all. Because when George Floyd was killed, he said, fuck George Floyd's family. He was scum.
Yeah.
So why should I give a shit about his damn family? I'm tired of trying to play the better I'm tired of trying to be the better set of people. And what's fucking hilarious about this is right after it happened, you have the alleged pedophile, definite felon, definite sexual abusing president come out and say this is all the fault of the left. And now that the fucking shooters come to find out is a maggot, none of them have posted a goddamn thing. You haven't seen one fucking thing from the administration. You haven't seen one fucking thing from any of these garbage ass right wingers who tried to dog whistle the shit out of this and say it was all liberals. And the thing that really pisses me off is all these fucks always sit there and go, oh, what's wrong, liberal? You're triggered. But when you think that it's liberal violence, all of a fucking sudden you want to play victim. Nah, bitch, stand up on them 10 toes. Stand up being the bully that your asses always want to be until something comes to your goddamn door. Then all of a sudden you're shrinking fucking violence. I don't care about these fucking people. If someone else gets shot, I'm going to feel bad that it happened because, again, it shouldn't happen. But guess what? In this country where weapons are readily available, because Charlie Kirk also said it's worth deaths to have the Second Amendment. Deaths every year are okay as long as we get to keep the Second Amendment. And then he fell victim to his own shit. So again, why should I feel bad for any of this?
Exactly. And Tim Dow, before I come to you, this is exactly what you just said, Matt Professor. Here's Charlie Kirk in his own words.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment.
And you heard it there in his own words, and Matt Professor was right. So, Tim Dawes, what's your thoughts on Charlie Kirk getting shot and killed at the Utah, Utah Valley University or something like that?
I forget what it is. I think that's what it is.
Utah Valley.
Yeah. Okay.
First thing was calm as a bitch. I mean, you reap what you sow. And like I always said, people don't care unless it happens to them. And like the governor of Utah said, hopefully this will start to, galvanize people and to stop all this hatred and using it politically to try and, fear or terror into your opponents or people, your neighbor, your cousin, your family. I mean, to me, it's crazy how what happened to him is what he was talking about should happen to us. Carl. And we've all know what he's saying underneath of that hidden racism. Everything's fine. We should have a couple thousand of us ninjas kill each other. That's fine. As long as we get to keep our, Second Amendment right. So irony is you be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, you be careful what you wish for there, Pharaoh. But he said that thing, and it's odd because when he got shot, the guy asked him a question, and basically the last word came out of his mouth was gang violence, and then he got shot. So, what were your thoughts on Charlie Kirk being shot and killed?
Honestly, I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was, some more media, propaganda that's out there, to push a narrative. Then when you actually hear that he actually passed away from it, you're like, oh, okay. These are the things he was talking about that actually happened to him. And then so me, I'm not going to mourn or celebrate his death. I would say that uh I do think that he's a pawn in the game of whatever's being played by the right, by MAGAs. Because I'm gonna tell you now, there's nobody's been shot by a Democratic supporter. Everybody been shot by a MAGA Republican. So you cannot sit here and blame the Democrats for whatever the MAGA is doing to their own people. So obviously something is not going, they're not going down the right path that these MAGA supporters are actually were supposed to be supporting. They're upset with whatever's happening. So if your own people are taking out your people, you might want to change what's happening in whatever you're trying to push, which we all know is hate and divisive. This is the most divisive this country's ever been since the civil rights. And
what kills me is, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
What kills me is you have Republicans and the governor talking about, we should stop this violence, we should end this violence, and the pattern that it comes in. Then on Fox Rocks News, fake news, he's saying something different. It's all radical left, and we need to get rid of. That's why I'm putting more of this. And I'm like,
exactly.
For real, that's the kind of stuff that people don't want to hear. But yet he's going to use this also as a deflection for what's really going on. Going to the funeral. Come on now, man. Give me a break.
Okay, Tim. With that being said, that they're going to use Charlie Kirk as a martyr. They're going to use this as something to push even more heavily on what they're already trying to push, and use him as the scapegoat of what's happening. Because he was talking about pull out the Epstein files. That's one thing he was trying to push. And now all of a sudden,
at the same time, it's not going to work. It'll probably backfire on him, because people are upset, not just because of who he was, but because of the situations that are going on.
Okay. Yeah. So listen. So here's another statistic. Then I think if I'm not mistaken, I think like 18,335 people were killed before him this year alone. Nobody got that type of narrative or support like he got. Then the 3 people the next day in Colorado got killed. So we're gonna add.
That was the same day.
Same day.
Okay, same day.
They got killed. They got shot. I believe they died.
Yeah, the only one that died was the gunman in that.
Yeah.
Okay, but regardless, people were shot. Like gun violence. But nobody's talking about that. It's all about this. And I'm gonna give y'all something. I did not know he was based out of Arizona. All right, Altuve area of Phoenix. My son-in-law right now is guarding the mortuary where he's at. What
does your son-in-law do?
To pull guard for this person.
Police officer. Yeah, but and coming back to you, Matt Professor, the thing I want, like Pharaoh just brought up, the attention that he's getting. And that's what I understand. We got the president of the United States acting like a goddamn newscaster. He's breaking the news about the death of Charlie Kirk. And then, people trying to make him out to be a saint. Like you said earlier, he basically called George Floyd a piece of shit.
He called Martin Luther King.
And remember, he said crazy stuff like this, which is nonsense to me. And this is just the tame stuff that he said.
No one cared when it was, just kind of paper shufflers or even engineers. But now when it's like, wait, hold on a second. You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian.
LeBron James is a self-interested, narcissistic, and we know he's not very smart. He does these press conferences where he thinks he's making sense spiritually and freedom of speech. But he's a product of his time. What would you expect from LeBron James?
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. When you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily wholesome. It creates resentment, doesn't it, Heather? Instead of dealing with the substance and or my very public track record of hating bigotry and racism and also associating with people of all sorts of different backgrounds, they started to call me racist. Soul and Justice Clarence Thomas are far better black role models to celebrate than Martin Luther King, period.
See what I'm saying there, Matt Professor? They try to make him out to be a saint, but everything that he basically saying was basically derogatory towards people of color. And before you say what you got to say, Matt Professor, I said this in my video that I just did. I said, I wonder, was he thinking that with his last breath? I wonder if he was thinking, if the doctor trying to save my life is qualified and he was black, or was he thinking, damn, please save my life? I know that kind of fucked up, but your mind changes when you're going through life and death situation. Your thoughts, Matt Professor?
Well, see, that's the thing. And that's the thing that pissed me off the most about all of this is you had these deluded ass people. And I hate to say it, I know one of them. And I had to show her all those same fucking videos. And she go, because she was saying the whole time, he's a Christian. All I hear, all the videos I saw of him is him espousing his love for God. I said, then you ain't watching the right goddamn videos.
Yeah.
I said, I found the videos and showed her. He said that. I turned the screen to her. Yes, he says that. I said, see, that's the bullshit that they're trying to get you to fucking believe because of the people you're following. The people you're following who are fans of his or fans of Felon 47 want you to believe that this motherfucker was a saint. He was not a fucking saint. He was a racist little fucking troll, a pumpkin-headed racist troll. And that's the fucking problem. And you have this sorry ass president who wants to hide under the guise of September 11 having the fucking flags lowered to half staff for this fucking man, while also having the flags raised during Jimmy Carter's mourning period. Didn't say shit when those fucking the lawmaker from Minnesota and her husband was killed. Didn't say a goddamn thing by a Trump supporter wearing a goddamn police uniform that he stole. So again, these fucking people show you exactly who they are. They're not Christian. They don't love God more than they love themselves. They don't love God more than they love Felon 47. So I don't want to hear shit. Again, it's not right that he was killed, but I don't feel a goddamn thing for his death. I truly don't, other than, oh, well.
Yeah. And you know what's funny there? It's not funny that figure of speaking, that's what I'm trying to say. But you know what's funny though? Charlie Kirk was basically a mouthpiece for Donald Trump.
Oh,
and
yeah.
One thing I would give him credit for, he said what he said and he stood on it. But like Donald Trump, he says in code, but at least Charlie Kirk did that. So I believe that's why Tim Dog, he's doing what he's doing for Charlie Kirk, because now he got to find him another mouthpiece to go out there and say the things that he actually wants to say.
No, I agree with that too. I mean, to me, he's a user, and everything that he touches turns to shit. Think of everyone that tried to help him, starting with the lawyer, the fixer, all the way down to Mr. Kirk. So, I mean, people should know by now and learn by now that this man isn't truthful nor honest, and he's no savior except for himself. And for him to sit there and say, oh, I'm going to the funeral, when John McCain passed, he was forced to put the flag at half-mast. He was forced to send his wife and family a limo service and get them on Air Force One or Two, whichever one it was. Shit like that. But yeah, he wants to, immortalize this asshole who kissed his ass, and that's all it is about him. You tell him something nice and you get anything you want. I needed $1 million. I'm giving you shit, boy. You the best president ever for every black man. Hey, give him 3, give him 4. It's one of those people. It's all about image. Look
It's
at
about
look at this. Yeah, look at his motions on that Fox video. He's animated with his hands, and like he's reading a script.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, Pharaoh, everything's that they even had JD Vance went and got the coffin and brought it back on Air
Yeah,
Force
on
Two.
Air
And
Force Two.
I'm saying to myself, this guy wasn't a senator, he wasn't a congressman, he didn't serve the military. All he did was a mouthpiece for the far right. To me, I could be wrong, but he was the mouthpiece speaking what they want to hear. So the question to you, Pharaoh, is this: how do you think the country will remember Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, exactly what we talk about tonight.
Ooh.
I would say how should I word this? One tax what you call it, fraud, waste, and abuse. I mean, you know what I'm saying, on using the plane or ferry, or federal tax money to fly this man back to
Yeah.
Arizona. But to me, he's a hater. He's a right wing extremist that spewed hate. That's the only way I can remember him. That's the only way I know him. So
Yeah.
I don't know how America is going to remember him, but I know how Ryan King is going to remember him, because that's the first time that I heard him was him talking about the pilot. How are you going to speak on being the pilot if they qualify when you can't even fly the damn plane? How are you even going to speak on that?
Especially when you dropped out of junior college.
Right.
Right. You couldn't even finish school.
Barely finished high school and dropped out of community college.
Community college.
Yeah.
Community
So with that being said, he is going to be known as the puppet for Donald Trump.
Yeah, and Matthew Fest, the same question. How do you think he's going to be remembered? Because they're already trying to make him a martyr. They're already saying things that, oh my goodness, I saw something Netanyahu saying, man, a lion has been killed, because he was a big supporter of Israel. And you got these other religious people saying, oh my goodness, he's one of these Christians. And then you got people like us saying, wait a minute, this is not the guy that y'all are actually putting up for everybody to see. So how would you think he will be remembered?
Hold on, Matt Professor. I need you to answer Juan real quick. I want you to answer Juan, because he called MLK. He called MLK a piece of shit man. So with that being said,
this goes to something I said right after, because when this man was shot and killed, I was at work, and when I got home, that's when I got online and started seeing all the bullshit that people was putting. But like I replied to a friend of mine who's not a fan of his, but just wanted to gauge where people was. I told her there are two types of people on this planet, and I told you guys this off camera during the sports show. There's two types of people that are assassinated.
Yeah.
People who are trying to uplift people from under the boot of tyranny, and people who are wearing the fucking boot. So, and you got to decide which side. You got to decide which side Charlie Kirk was on, and that's how he's going to be remembered. If you know who he was and saw who he was because of his media persona and his public persona, he was wearing the goddamn boot. But if you want to delude yourself, you can always think that he was the one under the fucking boot, which is just the stupidest thing in the world. So Juan, you're trying to be glib in your response. I'm not going to assume that you're trying to be glib in your response. I'm going to think better of you than that. But yeah, he's MLK because like MLK, he was shot and killed for speaking his mind. Now, granted, his mind was warped and stupid as hell to most of us.
Right.
Yeah.
But so again, he didn't deserve to be shot and killed. But the thing that, like I said earlier, when it comes to those Minnesota lawmakers, you didn't hear nothing from the right wing, even after until when they found out again that a maggot had shot and killed somebody. Because what's funny is I think that stupid ass woman Nancy Mace with her sorry ass.
Yeah.
I love that she started talking about this and that the Democrats own this, and that reporter whose name I can't remember right now said, well, what do you think the Republicans own what happened to the lawmaker in Minnesota? I think her name Melissa Hoffman or Hartman, something like that. Horton, yeah. And she goes, are you kidding me? No, bitch, it's a question. Because maggots keep shooting people. So do Republicans fucking own it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
He don't
exactly.
own shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tim Dog. Same question to you, man. How you think he's going to be remembered, man?
5 years, maybe. Oh, wasn't that guy that got shot in Utah? 10 years, who? 20 years, never heard of him.
Okay, goddamn.
I'm reading Juan's last post. Okay, I'll retract what I said about you being glib, Juan. I understand where you're coming from now.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
What I'm saying is it's hot in topic now. It's something that Felon 47 is going to try to use and abuse and serve like hell. But down the road, it's going to lose its momentum because then he'll be in the ground, and then there's going to be something else to talk about, like the Epstein file.
Yeah.
And as history keeps on, the only people that's going to remember him the way he's being remembered now are those who really are MAGA diehards, those who just,
all right, Juan.
I'm not going to say racist, I'm going to say fascist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And the point of the matter is, he spoke a lot about the Second Amendment, which we already covered. But the next thing, I'm going to play 2 videos, and then I'm going to ask the question. This is the first video right here. I'll make sure I get it. And I got this off of Sinners. Tim, you remind me of this.
Son, you keep dancing with the devil. One day it's going to follow you home.
And the reason why I got that, and the reason why I want to play that, is because this is what he said about, I guess, when the guy tried to assassinate Donald Trump, and this is what he wished would happen to that guy.
By the way, this is my other problem with death penalty. It takes too long, too many appeals. Expensive. It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised. By the way, I would totally tune into. And you know what? I want to watch that execution. That'll make my day better. I want to see him on a public block and get him be publicly executed. You think children should have? You should see it. What is the age? At what age should you start to see public executions?
16. I think you could do it earlier. I think you maybe at age 12, whenever 6th grade or so.
And the reason why I say that is because basically he spoke that into existence because he got assassinated in a public event. His wife and kids were there. So my question to you, Tim Dawes, did from what like my man said earlier, from his mouth to God's ears. Your thought?
Hey, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you talk about. I would say karma is a bitch. You thinking that you out there doing the president is solid by talking about all this, but then again, you're not thinking about repercussions of what if it happened to you. Now it did. Once again, I always say
you don't have that.
Don't
You don't
start
have,
changing stuff until you
don't have the CIA
to them.
But you don't have the CIA protecting you like the Donald Trump has. You know, he could say that he got the bulletproof glass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he now he got bulletproof glass and stuff like that. So continue what you were saying, Tim Dog. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you fine. But all I'm saying is you out here spreading all this hate, not thinking that you're spreading hate, but then the hate, what they say, the chickens come home to roost. That's another one. You know, and now what are you going to do? Now what are they going to say? Well, it's the Democrats. No, the Democrat wasn't up there on that roof shooting at anybody. Democrat wasn't down there, spilling all that hate.
It's funny, right-wingers always want to claim all the guns, but then when somebody that they love gets shot, a Democrat did it. I thought we didn't have fucking guns.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how shootings every year keeps the Second Amendment right. I understand what he's trying to say, but it makes no damn sense.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
you know what I'm saying?
The main thing about this that pisses me off the most is, and it was brought up by one of my favorite political commentators and journalists, James O'Brien, a guy from I think LTC or LBC, something like that in London. He asked why it is LBC. Okay, why is it that all of a sudden, because of his death, Charlie Kirk's words are off limits? Why we can't bring up all the shit that he said, all the racist, hateful shit that he said now all of a goddamn sudden? I mean, it was fine as long as he was alive, but now we're just supposed to forget the shit that he said, because I also remember he said Ketanji Brown Jackson I forgot what other black lady, and Michelle Obama only got ahead because of fucking DEI, and they took a white man's spot.
Yeah.
So,
And
because
remember,
black
and
women
remember
especially don't have the brain power to do anything.
yeah, and remember with the flooding in Texas, you know, they blamed the guy that was he blamed the guy that wasn't even close to goddamn what was it, in San Antonio, what was the big ass flood that they had going on in Texas this year,
Yeah,
and he blamed the guy.
was that
You know, and you're right, man, Professor. But did he speak his death into existence?
Well, if you're a Christian, you believe the power of the word, the power of God is in your tongue, or the power of prayer is in your tongue. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play the role of Christian, yeah, you believe he spoke it into existence.
Yeah. Your thoughts on Pharaoh?
I'm going to say this: we all knew who. I'm not talking about Kirk on this one. We all know who Donald Trump was prior to him even running for president, and then him even winning, and then losing, and then winning again. We all knew who this guy was, and the stuff that has come out about him. If he just would have stayed the little, the felon pedophile guy before even, before becoming the president, nobody would have even cared about Donald Trump because they already know who he is. But now that you're in the spotlight, everything is now coming into fruition, and now you're trying to cover up all your past because you want all this power. That's the same thing that's happened with Charlie Kirk's now, history. All the stuff that you're speaking, it's eventually going to happen. Just like if you're a person in a speeding car, and every day you go to work, one day you're going to get a speeding ticket because you keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that
so
is
it's
true.
going to happen. Just like anything else. If it's repetitive, you're going to have some type of reaction or some type of outcome or some type of result from whatever you're producing. That's what that is. For every action is a reaction. We know that. And this is the reaction of all the bullshit that he's been putting out these past years. And it caught up to him, unfortunately. His family saw it, but you know what? Fuck them too, because if you guys really cared about the people around you, you wouldn't let that man go out there and talk shit.
Yeah, and something that you say, Matt Professor, I want to go back to. Why is it now that they don't want you to revisit what he said? He can't say anything else, but we know what his record was, and we should be able to still go back and criticize him on what he said before his demise. Your thoughts?
Well, see, that's the thing. It's what happens when somebody that they like dies or whatever, or is thrown in jail. They want to whitewash the crime. It's what they're trying to do with the crimes of their ancestors in this country now.
Exactly.
They want to remove history and whitewash it to make it look like they didn't do anything goddamn wrong, or their ancestors rather didn't do anything wrong. So with Charlie Kirk, they're trying to do the same goddamn thing. Oh, he didn't do nothing wrong. That's why the first thing that came out of most people's mouths was he was always espousing God. What's funny is I've rarely ever heard him say God. Rarely ever. And I've heard a lot of his goddamn speeches. I rarely ever heard him bring up God. So I don't want to hear this crap about we shouldn't be looking at his past. Why the not? You look at everybody else's past. Shit, Martin Luther King's been dead how many years now? And they keep talking about, oh, well, he had affairs.
Yeah.
What the I mean, get the fuck out of here. His past is who the hell he was, just like his death made him who he was. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's not look at this man as if he was just somebody caught up in something he didn't understand. No, nigga, I don't want to hear it. This man knew everything he said. He knew what he was saying, what it meant to other people, especially to the fucking people that he was trying to put down, and definitely the people that he tried to make look good or not look good, but feel good about themselves, because that was the thing you keep hearing from these same goddamn people. Oh, he touched a lot of young lives. Yeah, because young people are stupid now. They believe young people believe everything they see on fucking line. They don't know history now because it's not taught. They don't know any damn thing because it's not taught. And that's the thing that kills me about the way they want to whitewash everything in this country now. Ruby Bridges still alive, thankfully.
Yeah.
She lived through shit that they don't want to teach their kids about now.
Yeah.
So they're
exactly.
trying to do the same thing with Charlie Kirk and say he didn't say that. Yeah, the fuck he did. That's why I'm glad he put everything online, because you can't erase everything that's online. And I'm going to say this. Earlier today, I was watching a video and they showed the moment he was hit. And I've tried, I didn't want to watch it. And then this video kept playing it over and over. So I stopped watching the video because, again, I'm not relishing in his death. I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
But I'm not sympathetic for it either. I'm just not.
Yeah, and Tim, though, that's the thing as well. You know, they don't want to talk about, you know, his past now. Well, he can't speak for himself anymore. But just like the mad professor said, anytime, you know, not when George Floyd, well, he was on drugs, or anybody of color that does something. Oh man, this is why he's that way. They keep bringing up that person's past, but all of a sudden they want us to, hey, no, he's gone now. So he like they say, he done ran his race. Yeah, he done ran his race, but he left some shit back here for us to talk about, because he left some fucked up shit, especially people of color. Your thoughts?
Hey, what's good for the goose, good for the gander. Fuck that. If I was a journalist on TV, I'd bring up every single time they say he's religious. Show me one segment he's religious. He say something about God, the next thing he say, I want to burn people up or whatever. See, that's the hypocritical thing, that they want to try to keep that blemish of a good look on him, when we all know he's a sheep's in wool clothing. And he's going to get exposed, just like with everything else that's in Felon 47's world. The thing that gets me is you have those who are brainwashed into thinking that, oh, this guy is the next Donald Trump savior to the world. But when you think about it, he's just as dumb as he is. If you look at his education, he's only doing this because he knows it's popular right now. That is his moneymaker. You know, the words coming out of his mouth and getting to those who think like him, which is a small majority. But yet, it just so happened that the criminal in charge, he likes this guy, and you see why, because of what he's talking about.
Yeah, and the same thing for you, Pharaoh, man. Why do they want us to not look at his past? Just, you know, hey, he's deceased now, so whatever he said before shouldn't matter.
Don't you think it's because they're trying to find somebody new to fill a spot? Didn't you say that earlier? You know, they might be trying to find somebody new to fill a spot, because you don't want that history to repeat itself with the new person that you're going to put in the seat. Now, if somebody was looking for me to fill in the seat, I would not do it. The dude just got shot. Why are you trying to find somebody new if that's what's going to happen? I'm saying, it's okay for them to repeat Black history about how bad we're doing things, but you can, like I said, if you're a purist, white folks do no wrong, so he did nothing wrong in their eyes. You know what I mean? And whoever else want to follow him. Yeah, you got to get what he said, so you can mourn him properly.
Yeah. And the same thing on that, Professor. The next thing I'm going to ask you, I think it was you that brought it up, because now that they found out that the shooter wasn't a Democratic, or wasn't on the left, and he wasn't a transgender, he wasn't Black, it was a young man. So now they want everything to calm
young white men.
Yeah. So now they wanted to calm down. So do you see the political rhetoric calming down after this event?
Probably not. I mean, again, that it's the only thing that faux news has. It's the only thing Felon 47 has is fucking rhetoric. That's all they're about. They don't care about. It's why he can't govern anything. It's why he's trying to take credit for passing a bill take credit for the results of a bill that he excoriated in the Build Back Better bill and the infrastructure bill. They have nothing else, and they know, excuse me, that faux news is popular only because they keep people mad and afraid, and that's it. Because once they start doing that shit, they fall off. It's why CNN been trying for the last year and a half have been trying to do the same thing. Along with fixed news, why they're sitting there trying to pass along right-wing rhetoric about scary Black people, this scary Mexicans, that I mean, it's all they've got. Like I said, they can't govern. They've been in power 8 months and have passed one goddamn bill.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean,
Exactly.
it's just like his first time in office. They had power for 2 years and did nothing but one fucking bill. So
Yeah.
again, they
Right.
have nothing. It's the only thing that keeps MAGA relevant is anger and fear. So no, it's
One
not going
more
to
than
calm
his
down
last
because it's
term.
the only way they get people to follow them. Remember, we've all said this before, that Felon 47 makes racist people not afraid to be in the closet like they used to be.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
all Kirk
And those
is.
are the
That's all
same
he is. That's
people.
all Charlie is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same people that went to Charlie Kirk's doggone, little
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
meetings or whatever.
And, you know, I wish I had the video. I guess some men got together outside of the thing. They was chanting, white men stand up. Then I saw some of the memes that who you gonna stand up to each other? Because
Exactly.
it was a white man that took Charlie Kirk's life. But Tim Dog, the same question to you.
I mean, yeah,
Do you
there you go.
do you see the rhetoric calming down after Charlie Kirk's death?
Yeah, but the president's going to be the last one to calm down. Everyone else is going to go on, and he's going to try to keep it alive because he knows that that's all he has until the investigation comes the 1st of October, the Epstein file. Excuse me, not that the voting on the Epstein file release. So, I mean, he's going to milk this for as long as he can. His rhetoric will be, but I don't think the public's rhetoric will be. No.
Okay. What about you, Farrell, man? After this, you know, because even what's my man Fuentes, what's his name?
Nick
I'm thinking
Fuentes.
about Nick Fuentes. Now he's talking about we need to calm it down. And
Yeah.
he's one of the mouthpieces just like Charlie Kirk. So
Lord.
With a name like Fuentes, huh? Okay.
yeah. I guess this has shaken him to his core. So the same question you, Pharaoh King, do you feel as though that after this death of Charlie Kirk, will this type of rhetoric die down in the political atmosphere?
No, actually, I think it's going to get ramped up. I think it's going to get worse. I believe that anything that can magnify what has happened so they can continue down the path that they're already on, I believe
Yeah.
this is why he was put on this planet, to be the martyr for this situation that's about to happen. I do believe if we don't get some voting done, but if we're allowed to vote next year, I mean, this year for next year, it's going to get worse for everybody in the United States.
Yeah, and like I say, man, we don't wish death on anybody, but you can't get on this thing on a microphone and say the thing. Well, he had a bullhorn, and say the type of things that he was saying, and he don't think that he's offended somebody. And like they say, it's always somebody young and white.
But I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you, and we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Authorities took this man, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, into custody late Thursday. Sources tell CBS News Robinson's father saw the photos released by authorities and confronted his son. The father then reached out to a youth pastor close with the family who contacted the U.S. Marshals.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years.
Investigators believe Robinson acted alone when he fired a single shot, piercing Kirk in the neck. Video from the FBI shows what appears to be Robinson jumping off a rooftop at Utah Valley University after the shooting. President Trump announced the arrest on Fox News and called for Robinson to face the ultimate punishment.
I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
Kirk's murder drew bipartisan condemnation and calls to tone down the rhetoric often blamed for political violence.
This is our moment. Do we escalate or do we find an off-ramp?
Authorities did not speak to a motive, but say bullet casings recovered from the rifle believed to have been the murder weapon could shed light on Robinson's thinking. One was engraved with "Hey Fascist, Catch." Robinson is being held without bail. The Utah County Attorney's Office says it will file formal charges next week.
Pharaoh King, I'm coming to you, man. What do you think will drive this young shooter to do what he did?
First of all, it can't be political. He wasn't a politician. Get that out the way. It's not a politician. This is just hate speech.
No,
And
I
if
mean, call it what it is, white on white crime.
Right.
Well, I'm talking about the what Charlie Kirk was doing. That's just hate speech. There's not nothing political about it. Now they said that the shooter has become political. Once again, if you're not going down the path of what my political views are, he wanted to get rid of him because that's not what he was actually supporting. Maybe some of the other stuff, but not the hate speech that this guy is spewing. So, like I said, it's been white on white crime ever since MAGA got stepped into office.
Yeah, exactly.
I just believe he just didn't like what he was saying. He didn't believe in what he was saying. The hate speech stuff. So
I got you. And Matt Professor, same thing. It's white on white crime, and just like I say, they trying to take out white men stand up. It was a white man that killed the guy that you was following. Mm-hmm. So are y'all gonna fight amongst each other? Well, y'all already doing that now, but
they've been doing it.
Yeah. So what would drive this young man, this shooter, to do what he did? And like I said earlier, why is the president acting like a goddamn news anchor? That shit is starting to bug the fuck out of me. We got more impressive things. God damn.
We've said before he's not really a president. He's
a celebrity. We know
a celebrity and entertainer. So he's never been a president. That's why he always has to do shit by executive order. But there are reports coming out that the shooter was upset with Kirk, with Charlie Kirk, for saying that he wanted the Epstein files coming out, then backtracking, and then immediately going back and saying, no, we need to release all the files. Because that's the one thing I'll give Kirk credit for. He was the only mouthpiece for the right wing that kept saying these files need to be released, unredacted. Unlike the rest
of Joe Rogan.
But Joe Rogan just hopped on it too because he sees the way the political winds are changing.
That's what I'm saying.
Joe Rogan's a political opportunist who only goes the way the wind fucking blows him. So his words mean absolutely goddamn nothing.
Exactly.
But like I said, this guy was a fan of Nick Fuentes, and Nick Fuentes was highly upset that Charlie Kirk wanted the files released. Yeah. So but again, that's what's the word? Conspiracy. I don't know. It's just like with the first guy who attempted an assassination on Felon 47 at his rally last year. Nobody knows what the real motives are because, well, that guy's dead. I don't think they'll let this guy live long or speak. So we may never hear what his. That's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad he turned himself in. Nobody fucking caught him. He turned himself in. So maybe he has a manifesto somewhere that's scheduled to come out. Maybe we'll hear his words, although the first thing the media is going to say is, why are you giving him attention? Honestly, I don't know. I can't put myself in the head of that guy. I get angry about different things personally.
I got you. Tim Dog, your thoughts, man.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, motherfucker, it's on the bottom of the Chiron.
What do you think?
Oh, I wasn't looking at that. I'm looking at news. I apologize.
What do you think would drive this young man to become a murderer, or better yet, taking Charlie Kirk's life?
Probably just his own political agenda. He's frustrated with something. I mean, people like that, and he's young, so you really can't tell. It could be, what's the adolescence, puberty, or whatever. And he's just mixed up and confused. Maybe the ethics that his parents instilled in him, was contrast to what he was hearing and what Charlie Kirk was saying. I mean, of course it was. I'm sure if we wouldn't have shot him then. But I mean, he probably got frustrated. Some people, they act on impulse. And it seemed like to me that's what he did.
I would say this, man. I don't think when you say his parents are gun-toting right-wing Mormons. They believe in the Second Amendment. So they believe in the same thing that Charlie Kirk was basically talking about. But I know we're trying to put. We can't put our we can't say because we are not him why he did what he did. And like you said, man, Professor, he might not live long enough to say why he took out
Now,
Charlie
I
Kirk.
want to answer to what Carl just put up.
Nah.
MTG is frontline on releasing Epstein files only because she know it's a loser to say that she don't want to release. Anybody that's saying they don't want to release will be voted out of office. It's
Exactly.
because trust me, if she wins her next election and these files still aren't released, the first thing she's gonna say is, why does the country want them released? So I'm not gonna back her up. Just like with Charlie Kirk, I don't want to back her up on it because I know she has a completely different reason for wanting them released. Charlie Kirk that might be the one Christian thing he wanted to do. Was to get those files out.
And my is Donald Trump going to send the National Guard to Utah?
Never.
No.
Never.
Are you going to send them to Utah?
No.
He's not going to send them to Shreveport,
Chicago,
Louisiana either.
Yeah.
Or
Chicago done already warned him.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing that really pisses me off right there too. Is these son of a bitches want to ignore that's violence. What he's threatening with people with cities sending the National Guard is fucking form of violence. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about it's always the left. No, it's a lot of the fucking right.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked that because it happened in Utah. It happened at a predominantly white college, but yet why are the HBCUs getting the goddamn threats?
Well, right now, historically black colleges and universities across the country are currently under lockdown after a slew of threats that were called in today. Moments ago, Spelman College announcing a shelter in place over the threats, including at Clark Atlanta University, which is near their campus.
Other HBCUs receiving threats today: Hampton University, Virginia State University, Alabama University, Bethune-Cookman University, and Southern University. The schools urging students to remain vigilant, saying these lockdowns will be in place until further notice.
You mentioned we had Southern University as well. That's in Baton Rouge. Bethune-Cookman, which is in Daytona Beach. And interesting, Spelman University has that shelter-in-place order, but it's actually not received any specific threats, they said, but the close proximity to Clark Atlanta University has made them, out of an abundance of caution, decide to issue a shelter in place just because of how close they are. They have said they're also increasing security just in case. We have statements from the other universities you mentioned as well. Virginia State University, Alabama University, Hampton University, and Hampton, Virginia. All of these statements so far seem pretty similar. They're saying they have received a threat directly to campus, and they are either asking people to stay off campus or issuing a lockdown order, a shelter-in-place order, so people stay where they are. There is a lot of concern here. Of course, the Charlie Kirk shooting happened on a college campus. We had the Colorado shooting at a high school yesterday as well. The heightened sense of tension is palpable in these students I've seen online replying to this. There's a very real fear. Having lockdowns on campus and these types of threats is not unheard of. It's pretty common. But all of these happening today, specifically at HBCUs.
And coming to you first here, Tim Dog. Like I said, it didn't happen at a HBCU. It happened at a predominantly white college. So why are the HBCUs getting the threats?
I guess white people saying, "Oh, we don't want y'all to feel left out." I mean, to me, it's just racist regardless. Why would you call a bomb threat on any school? I mean, once again, this is just people out there trying to stir up something. Why? Because they're ignorant. They want to spread this sense of fear and dread, and having to look around your shoulder and look at someone wondering, "Ooh, I wonder what they're thinking about. Was that the one?" You stereotype a person based on that fear, and to me, that's all they doing.
Yeah, but Matt Professor, I hear what you're saying, Tim Dog, but the HBCUs ain't had nothing to do with it. If you look at that crowd at in Utah, I don't think there was one black person there. If he was, he must have been a cameraman. But you're going to go threaten. Being honest, it happened at the white college. We didn't. There wasn't a person of color that killed Charlie Kirk. So why would
I tell you what it is?
Go ahead, then,
Let me
Matt.
tell you what it is.
Go ahead.
It's because these white people that backed Charlie Kirk, that was fans of his, know the people that he spoke about the worst. So who else would want to kill him? I mean, that's the fucking truth. The same people that said he was a Christian know how much he hated black people and know how much he down talked black people. So when he died, who else would be the ones that was responsible?
Yeah, I was thinking retaliation due to
So
that.
I mean, that's just it.
That right there.
They threaten black schools because, number one, they hate the fact that black people like to educate themselves. And that goes against the narrative of black people are stupid and never want to be better than what they are. So again, the fact that this man spoke out about black people and how he really felt about black people and how he think we're shit. Felon 47 said it the other day, we're born criminals. So the fact that that in college, there's most people that go to college that are black don't do crimes, unlike white people. Some white people. But you know, it just goes to show where their minds are. I mean, they like, again, they know he hated black people, he hated educated black people the most. So who else would be the ones who want him dead?
Yeah, and like you just said, Pharaoh, you know, but we the violent ones.
Right.
But we ain't had nothing to do with it. Now I'm putting myself because, you know, a person of color didn't have nothing to do with it. So why have people go out and threaten HBCUs? You should be sending the threats to the damn college where he got shot and killed at. I'm just saying.
Remember, you asked the question, what do you think will happen after he died or after he was killed? And I told you, I believe it would get worse. This is a situation where it could get worse. Let's go out here, talk shit, you know, put out some fake news, and we're going to go threaten the black colleges because why? That's the people he didn't like. And they probably, like Matt Professor said, there's the one that probably did it. Now that you find out that it isn't a black person, why do you still have these lockdowns in place?
You got to take it out on somebody.
There it is.
And like I said earlier, man, how will he be remembered? He would be remembered on that side as a person that fought for justice for them. You know, as for me, he would be remembered as a, hate to say it, a piece of shit. You know, because everything that he said was just hog shit, like my man said on Django. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact. And for them to be threatening HBCUs who didn't have anything to do with the situation with Charlie Kirk just shows who really are the true criminals. Man, fellas, man, good conversation as always. But ladies and gentlemen, we always have something good for you. Oh, let me see what Carl said. After this election, leave us alone. Yeah. Yeah. And they hate that we are not out here protesting, you know, with the Hispanic, where the black people at. Well, shit, y'all voted over 60% for Trump. So y'all deal with this goddamn mess. We told y'all what was going to happen, but you didn't believe it. Yeah.
Don't forget the Asians.
Yes, exactly.
Don't forget the Asians that did the same thing, and then ones that are still out there supporting. You know,
exactly.
Now that he signed executive order for
executive order
for you for the Latin community to be profiled. You guys need to be more vigilant than us.
Exactly. But Pharaoh King sound like he mad, but that's the mad professor job. Professor, tell us why you mad this week, my brother.
Oh my word, poor us. I mean, we're going broke. We might lose everything. We might not be able to feed our families. And I'm not talking about the general population. I'm talking about these fucking farmers in Arkansas who voted 64% for Felon 47, and now they want the same socialism that they fucking hated, that they voted against. Kamala Harris had a plan to give them crop insurance for where if there was a disaster of some sort or something happened and their crops wouldn't grow that to a point where they could sell them, they'd get money for them anyway. But they voted against that. They voted for the man who tariffed them the last fucking time, who tariffed their product rather the last time when he was in office and had to give them a $16 billion bailout. Now they're sitting there with their hands out. And what the fucking funniest thing about that to me was at the meeting that they had last week, did you see any MAGA hats in that crowd? Not a fucking one. No. Now they're not proud to be MAGA. No. They was pounding their chest, bumper stickers all over the back of their car, Trump flags every fucking where. Now where's all that bravado? Where's all that bravado? Stand on business, folks. Nuh-uh. Put your hands down. You ain't getting a fucking thing because guess what? The vice president has an app that helps him and his people buy distressed farms. You dumbasses. You think this shit was done accidentally? No. This was done purposely. It was done purposely to take your farms, and you fucking voted for it. So I hope you do lose all your goddamn farms. I don't feel shit for it. My costs are gonna go up either way. So again, lose your farms. Lose the farms that's been in your family for generations. I don't care. Get the fucking day you voted for.
That's right. Like they always say, put yourself up by your goddamn bootstraps.
Hey, I would like to add to that,
ahead,
and
bro.
that's when they allowed the Chinese to buy up all the land. There's those all those federal lands that they have because of those farms. So they got a lot of acres out there. They allowed the Chinese to buy up out there.
Well, it's not really about the Chinese buying up the farms because they don't have as much as you think. Bill Gates actually owns more farmlands in this country than anybody else. The problem, again, like I said, is they voted for this shit. Now they want handouts. Now they're going on their hands and knees begging for shit. They're not wearing their MAGA caps now because ain't nobody proud to be MAGA no more. In fact, here in New Orleans, I barely see MAGA shit anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see a lot of Trump signs taken down here.
Exactly. And I mean, wasn't a whole lot here in the city anyway. But now you don't see the shit at all.
Yeah, and you know, I did a video on that as well because of the fact that they don't believe in free healthcare. That's socialism. They don't believe in the free food for people. That's socialism. But what do? Now they want to go beg for money, which they frown upon anybody else that's in distress and beg the government for money.
But they had socialism defined wrong. That's the problem. They don't even understand what socialism is.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's why you voting for something against your own interest, not knowing what you're talking about, and that's the problem.
Exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, we all like to give you something to think about, something funny, or better yet, where the fuck Tim Dog get that from? Yeah, you take care of me. Tim Dog, what you got for us this week, my brother?
Hey, just something real quick. Everybody knows a little bit of something about the body, but what about something about the body that you just don't know? For instance, like your muscles in your body. What do you know? What is the strongest muscle in the body? Anybody know that?
The heart.
Nope.
The tongue.
Nope.
No, he gonna say the gluteus maximus.
You gonna say the anus? You talking about the anus?
Nope.
That's
nope,
the fastest.
saying,
that's the fastest thing in the body.
Yeah, you would know. Yours would be in the book anyway. It's the masseters. Everybody know what the masseter muscle. These muscles right here on the side of your face that bite down, chomp down on food. So the masseters are the strongest. Yes, the strongest muscles in the body. But yet, do you know which one is the biggest muscle in the body?
The masseter major. I don't know. The quad muscle, man. Come on.
There you go. And not only that, that's the second strongest muscle.
That meat pistol. What the fuck?
Hey, the meat pedal.
Come on. Think about it, Pharaoh.
What is that?
Hey, but did you know that we have muscles that we don't use? Well, not all of us, but there are muscles that people we don't use. For instance, muscles that make the ears move. Scientists used to think that back in the day that was something to help early man to hear better or something like that. But yeah, if you move your ears, you know how you do that? That's muscle that we just don't use to do anything. There's a muscle also in the ab. I forget the name of that mofo, but it's a muscle that helps something with the hiccups. So I guess if we had that muscle, we probably wouldn't have fucking hiccups. But anyway, that is your quick lessons about muscle. No, not the diaphragm. It's a little tiny muscle that's underneath. It's a real slither thin one. See, that's what I'm just saying. So
I got you.
some people, instead of having a 6-pack, they got a 5-pack.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's why we say, where the fuck Tim Dog get that from?
Oh, one caveat, I forgot. Man, see, you forget it, man, Professor. Damn it.
Oh, man, hey, get your caveat in, man.
Well, you wouldn't make it in politics.
These right here will be called the wings and lats. They call inner outers, whatever. These muscles are actually the newest muscles that are in the body because at one time this was all one big muscle, then it's separated, and I don't know how it was one big muscle, but yeah. What is this? Lats. There you go. The lats.
Didn't the Neanderthals had that? So we wouldn't have.
No. They had the lats, but it was like one big muscle, almost like a back.
Pharaoh, he was almost done. He was done. You brought it back.
I'm just saying.
I got you, man. Professor, before we go to that after show called Ashed Out, what you got for the people, man? Make sure you shout out your social media so the people can follow you as well, my brother.
I don't have social media anymore. Anyway, folks, don't feel bad if you don't feel bad for Charlie Kirk and his family. You're not abnormal. You just don't give a damn about somebody who didn't like you. I mean,
Exactly.
That's just it. I don't give a damn about people that don't like me. Bruh, come on, Carl, don't do that.
What do you say? What do you say?
Exterior oblique.
But again, don't feel bad if you don't feel bad for this. If you feel no sympathy for his family, because guess what? If he saw you shot dead, he'd say, "Nigga on nigga crime."
God damn, that's what I'm talking about. My main man, Pharaoh Cake, man. What you got for the people before we go? And make sure you shout out your social media so the people can follow you as well, my brother.
I don't really have much. We pretty much said a lot on this show tonight, and they talk about being vigilant. I would say be vigilant to those that this matters to, because a lot of us, we're not worried about what's going to happen. We're just worried about the outcome of what could happen to make this even worse.
We know, Carl. We know.
So with that being said, here, hey, Pharaoh_71. It was Friday night, man. We want to spice things up, so you guys come to the after show because I got some questions for you guys, and you already know I got some good sexual advice for you. So y'all be ready. All I'm gonna say, be ready.
I got you. And my main man, Tim Dog, man. What you got for the people before we go, man? Make sure you shout out your social media so the people can follow you as well.
I just want to say one thing. Basically, being healthy or eating healthy is dying very, very slowly. So if you want to live a
Tim,
little bit,
you coming at me, man. You keep calling me fat. You keep saying I eat sandwiches. Are you coming to me talking about eating healthy? You got wings and shit on your muscles. You got muscles and shit. What are we doing, Tim? Is this like are you trying to hit me somewhere? What's going on, Tim?
This is National Keep Your Body Healthy Month.
All right.
Eating healthy can also make you constipated.
As long as you don't eat enough fiber.
Tim keep coming for me, fellas. He keep coming for me.
You
I'm
found the Instagram.
Fucking with me, Tim.
No, I know too many people. Instagram, Fathers Love 99.
I got
that now.
I ain't worried about him, Tim. I'm coming for you.
Exactly. Hey, I don't have anything either. But like I say, we don't wish death upon anybody. But hey, you got to watch what you say because somebody out there is listening. And if they don't like what they hear, you may get a knock at the goddamn door. But you can find me at the Man on the Street Show on YouTube. You can also find me at Creative Canvas Expressions as well. That's my AI channel. You got every Wednesday night. Come check us out. We got a sports podcast called the Better Than Sex Sports Podcast. Goes down at 7:00. All we do is talk about sports and sports entertainment, and we do that very well. But you want to come back next Friday at 8:00 for 2 Cigars in the Blunt. like you saw tonight, man, these are the type of conversations that we have. And you can see that I got some educated brothers on this show. But you want to stick around. Oh, man, we got an after show we call Asked Out, because we're going to be talking about shit like this.
I have a video of it if you want me to show it to you. She blew cocaine up my ass, and she blew cocaine up my butt. It felt good. And then she licked it out of my ass. She like licked my butt. And then I was like, all right, bet.
And that's what we be talking about, shit like that on the after show, where everybody gets the chance to talk about what they want to talk about.
Hey, man, I saw that earlier today. I damn near fell out my chair, man.
And with that, I am the man on the street.
Hey, bitches 71, Pharaoh King.
Tim Dog, who's still in B-more, who don't do coke.
Especially
the man professor who don't want to do no goddamn coke. If I got to do it in my ass. In fact, you know what? I don't even know a woman. Let me say this. Let me say this right now. I don't even know a woman that would blow cocaine up my ass. And if you do know somebody that would blow cocaine up your ass, does that how does that affect you shitting? We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it later.
No, how about cocaine sitting on some shit?
First of all, he seemed a little fruity in the first place. So
people to that's we have that conversation, man. But check us out on the after show.
Some marshmallows in this.
Y'all come back, we have a good time. We're gonna have some laughs. Like Pharaoh says, Friday night, y'all be careful out there. But if you don't come back, be safe. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out.
Holla.